Yes.
All right, my name is Chuck Williams, and I want to welcome everybody to today's training. This will be one of the best trainings you ever watch as far as building your business. It's going to be something you can do easily, very short amount of time per week, and something you can teach your team to do, and it's going to cause instant duplication on your team, which is really the key factor to leverage in this business and this industry. Mike, Mucci, and I have developed this particular program over the last several years. We have fine-tuned it specifically for Isogenics, and we are getting some phenomenal results, I don't mind telling you. So we're really, really excited to share this with all of you. And it's something we don't just teach, we actually use it ourselves. So Mike, I'm going to let you take it away. And I'm really excited to learn the newest and greatest from you and what you're doing, because I know it's working.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Chuck. I wanted to say hello to everybody. Jasmine, it's been a while since I spoke to you. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. What I'm going to talk a little bit about today is not so much the document we use, but a system that we use. So I have a question for everybody. How many of you go to bed each evening knowing within a small variance of how much business you're going to be doing with your Isogenics business next week? Anybody have any ideas about that? Kind of all guesswork, right? Well, we're going to show you something today that you've heard us talk about before. It's about being in control of your business, not having the business control you. Let me give you a specific regarding that. Last week, I spoke to a gentleman in New Jersey. Had an outstanding business with another company, built it up, 300 consultants, a whole bunch of users, and he wasn't able to sustain it. And I asked him the number one reason why. He said, well, the company kept jumping from state to state, and he didn't really have access as he was going along to be able to keep up with that. But his main thing was he wasn't able to do person to person anymore. And he was on a little bit bigger scale, but mostly, people, when they get involved in a home office business, the first thing they want to do is introduce it to people that they know, like, and trust, that are like-minded, and also, sometimes family and friends. Well, I don't know of any business that relies on staying in business through family and friends, even retail or offline. So what I want to show you a little bit here today is the most powerful thing that you can do for your business is to develop a list of like-minded people, okay? And that list has to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, nobody has time to sit at their desk and send out 150, LinkedIn connection requests every week. We don't have time for that. But what I'm going to show you today here is a powerful way to kind of leverage how to get a list put together really quick. Number two, how to communicate with that list in a non-threatening way. And also how to screen and qualify people, how to use Chuck's talents and expertise to grow your business. Plus, the key to it, where the control part comes in, which I really like the best, is how to duplicate that with other people. So let me just dive a little bit deeper on that part. Okay, your list is the most important thing. Okay, Mike, where do I find a list? Well, many of you have already been on LinkedIn. Many of you are on Facebook already. There's simple ways to go in to LinkedIn and Facebook and extract the push of a button and get all the email lists from Facebook and LinkedIn. You put those into an Excel spreadsheet. Now, you're going to need a vehicle to, send out your emails. Some people use Constant Contact. Some people use MailChimp. I've been using a company called GetResponse for more than 10 years. It's worked well for me. So everybody here has Facebook friends. Everybody here has LinkedIn connections. And everybody here has family and friends in their email address book. Pull all of those things together, step number one. That's going to be the heartbeat of your company. And to market on a weekly basis the way that we're going to show you this. Zero cost involved. You don't have to, if you do get a MailChimp account, you might spend $10, $25 a month sending out emails. Maybe. Okay? So we got the list. The next thing that we want to be able to do is we always want to approach people in a non-threatening way. And what do I mean by that? Simply this. Nobody wants to be sold on anything. They don't want to be sold. However, they do want to be educated. They do want to be educated, but it's a natural reaction not to be sold. So we're going to position our messaging in the fact that we're going to ask an individual to recommend somebody for us that meets specific criteria that we've developed in the messaging, and you'll see it here in a moment. Okay. Once that's put together, we've incorporated just a small little 2 or 3 sentence, I wouldn't even call it a paragraph, introduction piece that, and I'll show you this, that goes above your recommendation request that kind of makes it personal. And for example, one of the individuals that I work with was in an energy company, and he has a list of 300 individuals that he worked with in a company. What he did was this. He said simply like this. We've worked together in the past, and we've built a business, so on and so forth. But as we get older, you know, we start to appreciate the need for health and wellness even more. And I've come across something that I wanted to be able to share with you. And it's this, this, and this. And that was his way of introducing his Isogenics business to people that he's still in business with, some of them, because he gets a residual. But that was his way of transitioning. And I thought it was very well done. Chuck and I believe that that 2 or 3 sentence intro, we'll call it, is a very important piece to this. Now, we call this strategy the recommendation request. And here's what happens. We've already put the ad together. It works fantastic. I can tell you I get 4 or 5 people that send me emails every week to Mike, raising their hand and say, Mike, I want more information. That's fantastic. Now I know every week I'm going to get 5 or 6 people to talk with for my Isogenics business. I'm in control of that situation. The next part is even more control. What I do is I believe in professionalism, scarcity, and urgency. And when I'm going to do an interview with somebody, I'm just like everybody else here. Isates runs her business this way. Dr. Shirley, if you want to speak with me, you got to set an appointment with me. And I tell them right up front, I need to do a preliminary interview with you. It's going to take 5 to 7 minutes. I set that appointment up. And during that interview, I'm going to listen 3 times, twice as much as I talk. I'm going to ask 4 simple questions. I'll show you those in a few minutes. Very simple. After the interview is over, I make a determination if this individual is somebody that I want to work with. Okay, and you'll get that feeling. So what I do with them is say, oh, congratulations, you made it through the preliminary interview. Now, I want to schedule a primary interview with you and Chuck Williams. His office in St. Louis will contact you to set up a time. Did I talk about the isogenics business at all? No. Many times they don't even know what it is. Let me give you an idea that happened just the other day. I had a lady in Florida that works for the LPGA answer one of my recommendation requests. She wanted to know what it was, what's this, and I just refused to tell her. I said, Nadia, if you want to know about this, I said, you have to set an appointment with me and speak with me, but I can tell you that the product is promoted on the PGA Tour. And I would think that it would have great opportunities with women's golf. So if you want to set a time to talk a little bit more, contact me. If she doesn't contact me, I gave her 3 times that I could speak to her, I'm not going to chase her. That's posturing. It's very important. Posturing, okay? We run our business like a business. We want to be in control of it with our time and knowing how much business we come in, and we want to be in control that when we work as professionals, we're going to ask everybody that works with us to do the same thing. That means, for me, every Tuesday, the individuals working with me, I will take their list, I will upload it into GetResponse, I will send out a recommendation request letter for everybody in my business, provided they give me a list. Guess what I'm doing? I'm being a servant. I'm helping my individual people be successful in my business. And that's where Chuck was referring to the duplication tool. So I love that about this, the fact that, hey, we're running the business like a business. And if everybody got 4 or 5 people to talk to every week, and I had to help them for the first month do a preliminary interview, and I'm teaching them how to do that, when they give me their list, I know they're doing business the right way. I know they're putting people into their funnel. I know they're putting people in front of Chuck. Is my business going to grow and sustain itself that way? Guess how long this takes me to do? About 4 hours a week. I've figured this out. 4 hours a week. Do I have freedom? Yes. If I want to go take a golf lesson on Tuesdays, do I get a chance to do it? Yes. I'm not on the phone all day and all night trying to find people. We've got a great product and service that a lot of people can benefit from. But I want you to all think about today about a system. Like when you go to bed every night, I know like next week I'm going to be talking to 3 or 4 more people. And guess what happens with the same list? I send out the same message to my list 6 to 10 times. So that's once a week. And guess what? Every week I get different people. It's amazing because you know why? 60% of all positive responses come after the 5th or 6th contact. Most people quit after 1 or 2. So what we've devised is we're going to have 6 to 10 different subject lines, because as you know, email has to get sent, it has to get received, it has to get opened, and it has to get read before anything happens. So we send a different subject line every week. This week it was this: can you recommend a marketing partner for a blank, 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 ... question mark. And then when they open it up, I'll show you what they see. Let me scroll down here, Chuck. Okay. And then I'll bounce back to the preliminary interview. But this is kind of like, and some of you have seen this before. And here's a couple other subject lines we've used already, but this was sent out for me, a gentleman who had a list. I asked him for a favor. He had a bunch of business coaches, and we did bring 1 or 2 people in from this list. if I'm not mistaken, Chuck, okay? Hey, a couple of good friends of mine, the marketing specialists, Mike Mucci and Chuck Williams, are looking to add someone. Both Chuck and Mike are the real deal, street, smart, and wise, but still open to thinking out of the box. If you're looking to be part of a successful team with longevity, earning good money, or know someone who is, take a read. And he put that in, sent it out to his list, and added our letter. And here's the letter. Recommendation request. Do you know an experienced, successful business professional / entrepreneur seeking a career change who would like to earn $100K plus annually? Okay. And I put in here a little sidebar. We'll actually show you the 1099 income statements to qualified candidates. You can read, I'll let everybody stop and read the letter right now if you can see it. Okay. We've worked on this. If you send the letter, all I ask is that you don't change it because it works. You don't have to change it. Only thing you got to do is change the bottom for the call to action, how they get back to you individually. This works. So, what happens when they raise their hand and get back to me? I wanted to stress something. What I've noticed, and I don't know why this happens, but when I get 4 or 5 or 6 responses, some of them are in my spam box. So make sure you check every day about the emails that you got coming in. Check the spam box, and it's real easy to do because all you got to do is you just search through the spam you're getting and look at the headline, the subject line, and you'll know it's yours, of course, because you're familiar with it. But I picked up about 5 or 6 that went back into spam for some reason. I don't know why. At any rate, what happens then is I answer via email. Thank you for responding. Look forward to speaking to you. Here are 3 or 4 times that I can do a preliminary interview with you. And I just put them in there. Monday, this time, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday. Here's four options for you. Pick one. Let me know. My schedule fills up quickly. It does. Usually, if they're interested, they get right back to you. Some of them will call you on the phone. I've had people call me, and I simply tell them, I switch gears right into when, hey, I'm busy at this moment. When could I call you back and we can do a preliminary interview? I don't go into anything about Isogenics at all. It's about the preliminary interview. I'm going to pick them. They're not going to pick me. Okay? Now, let me bounce back up here real quick to this preliminary interview. And it's basically 4 questions. Ask, where are you calling me from? Okay. Hey, I might say, I know somebody there, or I've done something there, I've been there, just a little chit chat. But then I ask them, okay, I want to be respectful of your time. I told you it would take 5 to 7 minutes. Here's what I do. Why did you respond? I listen. Take a few notes. What's the single most important accomplishment you've achieved in your business career? And they're going to tell me something they're proud of. I feed it back to them and I say, you must be, that must have been a great accomplishment for you because of this, this, and this. I do feed it back. And prior to the call, sometimes I will look at their LinkedIn profile to get an idea of who they are, where they are, what they look like, so on and so forth. Third question is, what are your goals? Fourth question, why didn't you reach your goals? They'll tell you. And I remember having this conversation a couple of times. When I try to add people to my business, I want people who have demonstrated perseverance. And I just feel, for me, it's better that way because statistics say the average entrepreneur, like all of us, fails 3.7 times before they create a success. Now, Tulane University did a study on that. For me, I want the person that's failed 2 or 3 times, because I really feel that coming to work in our group, we can show them with a system how they can have rapid success, earn money in their first month, and also the most important thing, have something value added, a system to be able to present to people that's going to keep the people working with them for a long time, earning a great income, and being able to duplicate. And it's not working for me, it's working with me, where we all work together. And, building that list is the most important thing. And then executing on a weekly basis, being in a non-threatening posture position, having scarcity, urgency when they speak to you. Do they follow directions? Because if they're bad coming in, they're usually bad going out. And you get a good feeling talking to people up front. Hey, this person might be a good fit. Number one, are they a good listener? And number two, can they follow directions? And number three, can they do it on a consistent basis? That's the key to this. And I just want to close out, and I'll answer any questions you might have, but I just want to close out. We are in the business of duplication, and the more people that we can create a success for in our businesses, the more we're going to receive the benefits of that. And the more people we can make successful, instead of 1 out of 10, if you got 2 out of 10, I've always asked Chuck to tell me, what does that mean in dollars and cents? Well, nobody can calculate it, because it's a tremendous amount of money. So this little system, in closing, everybody can do it. It's zero cost. Everybody has a list already. You don't have to write down 100 names of your family and friends and go knocking on their door, and give them a shake. You don't have to do that. You structure it in a very professional way, which will allow you to attract, I believe, like-minded business people who, hey, see, well, there's a system here. I could follow this. He did it. I could do that. So I'll go over to you, back to you, Chuck. If there's anything I left out, feel free to fill in the gaps for me.
You really didn't leave much out today. I would like to mention that at the beginning of the recommendation letter, you notice that little personalized paragraph that his friend put in for him to mail his list. We have found that little personal note at the beginning, it's important for each person to personalize that letter so they know it's coming from you and it's not some random person trying to use your name. So it's important to have a little personal paragraph at the front, and Mike can help you with that. Basically, you're creating your own brand, your own irresistible offer there. That's a very, very important piece that Mike adds. Another thing is we'll be doing a separate training. We didn't want to bog this one training down with too much, but we'll be doing a separate training on how to extract your names and emails from your existing social media. So you'll be able to go into your LinkedIn and pull out the names and emails. So you got your list, bam, right there. And then same thing, I've not done it on Facebook, but Mike tells me we can. So we've got some people researching that. They're going to do a separate webinar teaching you how to pull that information from those social medias. And then you can, if you're on Mike's personal team, you can send a list to him and he'll mail it from GetResponse. If you have your own mail system like I do, you mail your own recommendation request. You do your own preliminary interviews after Mike's trained you and helped you. Eventually, I'll be training people on how to do the primary interview. Obviously, as this thing explodes, I can't do it for everybody. Short term, I will and can and love it. I absolutely love it. But long term, that's my goal, is to create other master presenters and leaders. So as Cepedas say, we are master trainers training master trainers. So Mike, I think you did a great job. I think Pete has a question. So Pete, if you want to unmute yourself and ask your question, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Chuck and Mike, since this system or this letter is part of a team effort here and for our team, have you looked into copywriting the letter so that we don't send this out to other people and they copy it, use it, and go that way?
No, I haven't, Pete.
Is it something we might need to consider?
I'm not sure because I think this information has been out there for 20 or 30 or 40 years, and it's all part of direct marketing successes in the past. We just kind of made it our own, putting the right combination of words in it. I think people could try to copy it, but I don't know how effective it would be for them, because I think there's sequences involved here that really make it effective, and the fact that Chuck's on the other end, bringing the people in, his expertise, and so on and so forth. So I'm not sure how to answer that, Pete. It's a possibility. That's all I could say to answer it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Pete. I do want to add one thing, Chuck. I want everybody, when I say list building, I want everybody to understand something too. The offer is only as good as your list. So if you went to try to buy a list, you don't have any personal connection with that list. I can tell you the first, 3 or 4 people that I brought into the business came from a list of 600 people, but I did business with those people before. So keep that in mind. A list can be fertile and one can be not so good. But if you're using your family and friends, and you're using your Facebook friends, and you're using your LinkedIn connections, I think you're going down the right path of people that have, know who you are, and have, you're not coming in from the cold, I guess is the way to say it. Anything you want to add on that, Chuck?
No, I've just seen it work so well. And I will tell you, Pete, that most people, when they first see this letter, they say, oh, that's way too long of an email. And I'll tell you, it's been tried. Like Mike said, just if you're going to do it yourself, don't change it. And I will add one thing that's really important is do not send out bulk emails through your Gmail or anything like that. You've got to be compliant when you send out emails. You've got to use a email system. Now, if you want to go on the cheap side, you can get MailChimp basically for free. I use a program called Lead Outcome. It was developed by a network marketer, so it's kind of got the bells and whistles to help a network marketing company. Mike mentioned he uses Get Response. There's Constant Contact. There's all kinds of them out there. But make sure you're using an email system if you're going to do email marketing. One spam complaint can cost you thousands of dollars in fines. You can mess up months of your effort. You just don't want to go there. So make sure you're staying compliant. So.
Yeah, one other thing too, Chuck, what I kind of like about that, I'll go back to the value added. As I talk with people and ask them to get involved with the business, or they're selected to come in and work with us, one of the things, I'm not a control freak, but I do know that people want to get off to a quick start. And one of the things that I want to do with my people is say, look, give me your list. I'll upload it into my Get Response. I'll make it your own. I'll customize it. And I'm going to send this out to you every Tuesday for 6 to 10 weeks. And at the end of the 10 weeks, you can, if you want to add to the list anytime, just give me the names and I can put them in there. What I like about it is I can take 1 hour on Tuesday morning and get everything sent out. I could send out 100,000 emails if I had them in 1 hour. And that's the beauty of this. So think about that. When you're talking with people, this all sounds good, but then when they get off of this webinar, they think, well, geez, what do I need to do? How did he say to do that? If you can actually do it for them, you're sending yours out. If you can actually do it for them, it's just a matter of copying and pasting. And if I had 6 people, I just go to Get Response and execute 6 different email blasts and send them out. I'm helping them, and I'm in control of that.
Okay, any questions? Shirley, Sally, Jasmine, Isatis?
All good. Thank you.
Very good.
One other thing, I guess I just got to end this with a question.
Wait a second.
What
Sally,
have I?
Sally might have a question. Let her talk.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, I think I'm okay at this point. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Sally.
One of the things I want to mention is what have I done by bringing my team together with their lists? I've actually leveraged my own situation with their lists. And if you can keep that flowing all the way down with the people you bring in, actually now my list went from 12,000. If so-and-so has 5, now it's 17 because I'm going to get an opportunity to earn from their efforts as well. So think about that for a minute. Wow, that's kind of powerful. And what did it cost? What did it cost? Appreciate the time today.